25 years, we didn't get no remedy. We didn't get no solution. Our children were left out in the cold. They didn't come up with no antidote. Yeah, they came out with an antidote prison. That was our antidote. That's what this program is about. Don't get this twisted. That's what this program is about. When the black community was infested and dying from heroin overdose, I ain't heard about no antidote. I didn't hear about it. But James got hot. Now you go on the basketball court, you see him shooting all over the place. Probably find Kiki out there shooting once in a while, trying to bring our game back. Wouldn't it be something if we saw 103-year-old Jean Merrill Capers out there, who used to be a great basketball player, out there trying to get her game back? It would be all because of LeBron James. But I'm moving further. That's trivial stuff I'm talking right there. I'm moving further and to the point of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade said, LeBron James is the reason I went to Chicago and went back home to Chicago. Because LeBron James supported me all the way. In other words, LeBron James is telling athletes, he's empowering athletes. That's the point I'm trying to make. He's empowering athletes not only to do your best and you can break away from the man. He said, go home, athletes, and support your community. You know these athletes for years and years and years been spending all their money on wild women and whiskey and whatever, and ain't been back to the community. Done told a man, say, hey, I'm my own man. Now he's empowering athletes. And the final thing that I want to say to you is that no one but LeBron could do this. He empowered Michael Jordan. He made Michael Jordan get off his dolly, dilly, pilly, huh? Finally, who else could have did it, Kiki? Through the power of LeBron James, now Michael Jordan has came out and say, well, he still came out wimpish, Kiki. He came out wimpish, all right? He came out wimpish. But because the reason we say he came out wimpish, Kiki, is because here's what he said. He said, yeah, I'm going to give $1 million to the NAACP, but I'm also going to give $1 million to the Police Patrolmen's Association or somebody like that. So he still kind of wishy-washy, but at least he came forward. Now, LeBron James has also empowered the community in which we see more vendors, more people selling stuff, more people trying to get into the marketplace since of the LeBron James phenomenon than I've ever seen. And I'm talking about black people. You understand? That would look like they were completely shut out, forgot about the marketplace. Now they're back in it. To figure out a way to get us a website going in which we name clubs in which violence has taken place inside or outside. And I guarantee you it'll be, listen, we can make some money if we come up with this, because people like Kiki, when they go out, and Judge Capers, when they go out to those rap concerts and all those places, they'll be able to look online at our website, and they'll be able to see, has there been killings outside this club? Is it safe to be outside that parking lot? Is it safe in that club? And so when they go out, they won't have to guess. Kiki won't have to guess, well, is it safe? I want to go over here. Is it safe? She can look at our website and see that what's happening at this club or what's happening outside this club and choose to or not go there. Terrible epidemic in the United States of America. And it's dealing with heroin. Y'all forgive me as being a ghetto person, a hood person, that I might sometime call it heroin. Right. All right? So forgive me if I say heroin instead of heroin, but I clearly know the two pronunciations. Let me say to you, first of all, 216-578-1498, let me say for you, first of all, that many of you all don't know this, but at one time, I myself was an heroin addict. Coming out of Vietnam in the 60s, I became a heroin addict. It was one of the worst habits that I've ever had. I knew better. My mom and dad taught me better. But it was something that I just got into, and it was very hard to get out of. I thank God today that I was able to get out of it. I smoked marijuana too. I was into that too, all right? It was harder for me to get out of marijuana, it seems like. Nevertheless, heroin was me. I was addicted. So don't let anybody tell you or go to management or go to the man and tell you that I'm not sympathetic towards anybody that is addicted to heroin, whether they be male, female, woman, child, whatever nationality. I am sympathetic, and I know the pain and suffering that it causes a family, my family. I know this. I know this. You had a little nip last night? Did you have a little nip last night? It's okay. Did you have a little wine? A little gin? I'm talking to a 103-year-old Judge Jean Merrill Capers. I think she had a little nip last night.
You're thinking wrong. Not last night or any other night.
You sure you didn't have a little bit of medical marijuana? I'm talking to my friend Judge Jean Merrill Capers. Ma'am? I've almost overdosed myself. So clearly I understand. But saying all that to clear up the record, I want to tell you right now, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. And before I do that, let me set the stage a little clearer. When the movie American Gangster first came out,
right,
they were showing it at Severance Center. I got members of the organization together.
Sure did.
And we went out there and picketed Severance Center, the Magic Johnson Theater. We weren't picketing the theater, but we were picketing the movie. And we left a message to America and to Cleveland that this was the beginning of the heroin epidemic. Check the records. Check the TV records. The TV cameras came out and recorded this. They thought it was weird that we was out picketing a movie called American Gangster dealing with heroin.
Mm-hmm.
We told them that that's the way it always started. The heroin epidemic always starts through Hollywood. They come in and broadcast it and advertise it, and before you know it, the community is addicted.
Right.
Glamorize it.
And we glamorize it, yes. And we told them then, check our records. If they'd have listened to us then, maybe we could have got a grip on it, because here's what we saw way back then, because we're right in the neighborhood, right in the hood. You're listening to the Art McCoy radio show, University of Common Sense, WERE 1490. What we said then was, we see the trick that you're trying to play on our community again. We finally getting off of crack, which devastated our community for over 20 years. We finally getting our people off of that. But you don't want our people to be drug-free. You don't want our people to be free. So that's why you're sliding this heroin back into our community. We see it. Stop it, we told them. Don't do it. Our mothers and our children and our grandfathers and everybody, you've addicted us long enough. You've completely destroyed our structure of our life with this crack cocaine and these other drugs. Please, give us a break. Don't bring the heroin back into our community, because we have no means of bringing it. And we told them at that movie, am I lying, Brother Porter? You were there.
I was there holding up a large sign.
All right, and we told them that this was the beginning of the epidemic, right?
Yes.
All right, so check my record. What I say is fact. I don't play. They didn't listen to us then.
No, they didn't.
Because you know why?
Go ahead.
Y'all pray for me. Because they were satisfied with addicting the black community all over again. Listen, you know from the Godfather movie, which is in fact, what did the God man say on the ship when he said about blacks and heroin? What did he say? Who knows, class?
He said, let them lose their soul.
Thank you, brother. He said, let them lose their soul. He said, let them lose their soul. And we don't care if you're addict, the best way to control the black community is to put this drug, heroin, and these drugs in the community. You'll control them completely. I think somebody in The Godfather somebody said, no, don't do this, because we might have a few casualties coming from the suburbs. And what did The Godfather say? He said, don't worry about that. In cases like that, there are always a few casualties that you don't look for. But mainly you're going to devastate the community, the black community. You won't have to worry about them looking for no job. You won't have to worry about them doing this. Keep them drugged up. Keep them high. You don't have to worry about them protesting. You won't have to worry about them even taking care of their families because you're going to have them all drugged up.
True.
So they flooded our community first with heroin in the early 60s. Then after that, they flooded our community with crack cocaine. And we haven't been able to do any kind of resistance. We haven't been able to cry for no jobs or nothing like that because we're all drunk and hide out. So we begged America. We said, please give our community a break. Don't put this heroin back in our community. No one listened to us.
No.
But I want you to know one thing right now. Lord have mercy. I want you to know one thing right now. That there is a God. There is a God. Get ready to play one when I tell you, Kiki. There is a God.
Okay.
Oh, y'all might not believe it, but I do. There is a God that heard our cry and hear our plea for mercy. And instead of the black community and black people being completely saturated and the plague of heroin coming down on our community, the plague went to the suburbs. Oh, y'all pray for my soul. So that's why all of a sudden, we have all this heroin toll. And you see all these suburbanites on the front page. It's spreading in our community, but it didn't devastate our community like they thought it was. And I commend my black community for being smart enough this time to not completely bite from the bitter apple that was sold into our community. Beautiful families. Lord have mercy. Opiate addiction. Effort to cut access failed to slow death. Lord have mercy.